Hey guys, this is Joey with Harvesting Strength, and what I want to talk to you today about was the book that I released at the end of last year. It's called Harder to Kill. It does have a little bit of an aggressive title to it, but there's much more meaning to it. On the cover, you got Anthony Smith. He's a client of mine. He works very hard. Strongman athlete, preparing for nationals in May. So definitely a shout out to him helping us at Harvesting Strength with what we do. So Harder to Kill, kind of implies this whole notion of, training to become harder to kill. Another client of mine, AJ, had mentioned this to me, and a big shout out to him too. We were talking about training. I was getting him set up. I was talking about trying to get his strength up, explosiveness. And with all those things being said, at the end of our conversation, he said, yeah, my biggest thing is I want to become harder to kill. And I thought that was such a cool statement. And the more I researched it, the more I looked into it, it was brought up in other instances, but I really thought I should take advantage of the moment to not only talk about it in book form, to have a shirt about it too, and to have it as a mentality. So that's something I carry on with a lot of my newer clients. But with that being said, the book kind of evokes this thought of what does it mean to be harder to kill? So, in this book, and I hate doing this in front of you guys, I want to find the page number. I believe it's 108 pages. So I've been told it's a quick read, but in this book, it talks about, the historical background of, training for powerlifting, for strongman, for bodybuilding. It's not talking about the people who invented those sports by any means, but it's talking about the people who promote those styles. So, if you're a powerlifter, if you're a strongman, if you're a bodybuilder, it's kind of cool to merge all those concepts together to develop a very, deadly kind of athlete, a person that can not only bench press 400, but can do like a 40-inch box jump and have the endurance to, push out 100 or whatever push-ups, just to be able to do a lot of different things. And we can pull off this whole idea of harder to kill, especially because it's strength-based, because it all merges together. It's not like other sports where you want someone to be strong, but then also be able to run like a 4-mile race where cardio versus strength, they kind of merge. They can't merge very well, and they kind of contradict each other. That's not the whole point of this book. This book is to talk about all things strength and developing athletes through those different strength principles, through merging the ideas of powerlifting, strongman, and bodybuilding, and all the other things that come with it to make you more athletic with your ability. So I know I'm not the first person to, discuss all these ideas in one. So I'm definitely not saying that I'm, a pioneer of any kind, but I am telling you that in this book, it's fun because it not only talks about the approach of powerlifting, strongman, and bodybuilding. It also has some other cool things in here too. So, if you look at the chapter, the beginning of the book, it has, obviously the first part, chapter 1, a presence with a purpose. So not only being able to perform, but look the part too. So it's always funny when I would go to powerlifting meets and people wouldn't know what I was really capable of because I didn't really have a very dominating physique. And I think that kind of lacked, I felt like I was lacking in that department. So we're obviously setting the tone with chapter 1, having a presence with a purpose, looking the part. Chapter 2 is Strength and Injustice, an interview with fugitive recovery agent Al Heinrich. If I messed up your name, I'm sorry. I'm not good at pronouncing some names, but we talked to fugitive recovery agent Al Heinrich about his background and his profession, how strength means a lot to him, and he kind of evokes this whole, thought too of becoming harder to kill, training strength, body weight movements, explosiveness, having it all. So he's not just, some static monster. He has much more to himself than that. And then we break down in chapter 3, 4, 5, and 6, phasic training. You can't do it all, right? And that provokes the question, or I don't know if provoke was the word, but it helps you ask the question, can you train hypertrophy, strength, and power? And the reason why I brought hypertrophy, strength, and power into the conversation was because I was talking about strongman, powerlifting, and bodybuilding. bodybuilding being the hypertrophy, strongman being the strength, powerlifting being the power. How do you merge all of these sports and phases of training together into making it a strong program? So all those questions are answered. I break down the kind of format that I like to work with clients. I like to start off with a power movement, isolating weaknesses, using strongman events, and then, going to hypertrophy at the end. So a lot of those things are in the book, and it's, like I said, a quick read, and it can be really insightful for you. Plus the fun wordplay and narrative we have with all the other things beforehand. And then Chapter 7 really just finishes it off by, teaching you how to become harder to kill, kind of bringing it all together. There's some other things in here brought up from people I idolized as a child, whether they were powerlifters, strongmen, bodybuilders, or even famous wrestlers like the Ultimate Warrior. So that's all brought into here. And at the end, you got a program and a chapter for thank yous for the people involved. So I definitely recommend getting the book, looking at it. It's just fun. It's different. One of the most frustrating things for me is always hearing the same things over and over from other people with their books on training. So it's always the same thing. Why is my program different than yours? How do you correctly warm up? How do you correctly do these exercises? We're reiterating the same information over and over, but with the books I've written, Harder to Kill, other books, Principles of Mindset, Bench Press Bully, all those books have fun little narrative, have a little bit more of a hardcore mentality, and can just really, engage the reader in something different. So, if you are more of a, sciencey person looking for specific research and things like that, you'll find this in here because I have a page of citations that I work with in regards to other studies. So I do support my background, but I'm also the kind of person who will, chug black coffee, show up to the gym in my jeans, and take a shot of whiskey before I go for a heavy deadlift. So I don't know if that resonates with some of you guys or not, but please check this out on Amazon. It's called Harder to Kill by Harvesting Strength. Definitely check it out. If you have any questions or concerns or want to learn more, please feel free to message me or to email me through my website, harvestingstrength.com, or jlucero@harvestingstrength.com, and we can have a conversation and talk more about this stuff. Appreciate you guys and hope to hear from you soon.